Somewhere in my house right now, there's an animal that an entire country has made it legal to kill on sight. Meet Jonathan, the world's largest frog, and by a wide margin, the most dangerous one too. When her species landed in Australia, they didn't just settle in, they went on a rampage. Venomous spiders gone, snakes capable of killing a grown adult gone. Every single predator that underestimated her lost. You'd think that's the scary part. It's not even close. These raised bumps behind her eyes are parotid glands, and they don't just contain poison, they can fire it. One dose is enough to stop a predator's heart in under 10 minutes. And here's the part that keeps ecologists up at night. Her babies are just as lethal as she is. A single female can lay up to 70,000 eggs a year, and every stage of that life cycle, egg, tadpole, adult, is toxic enough to kill. A fish that eats one egg dies. A bird that eats one tadpole dies. In parts of Australia, there's no debate about what to do if you see one. You're legally required to kill it. So obviously, the only logical next step was to bring one home and raise her like royalty. The first problem with owning Jonathan? Nothing built for a normal pet can actually hold her. Look at that muscle. I physically cannot redirect her once she decides where she's going, and neither can an ordinary tank lid. She can launch herself hard enough to pop a standard enclosure wide open. So a normal setup was never an option. This tank cost $100,000, custom built to be as close to indestructible as glass gets. One way in, one way out, zero weak points, because the absolute last scenario I want is walking into my kitchen and finding out the hard way that she got loose. Now here's where things get genuinely bizarre. Jonathan has never taken a sip of water in her life. Instead, she presses her stomach flat against moisture and absorbs it directly through her skin. A built-in patch scientists call a seat patch, functioning like a living sponge. Try to picture drinking an entire bath just by sitting in it. If she feels threatened, that same system turns into a defense mechanism. She blasts water outward to startle whatever's coming for her. But that water isn't just water anymore. The moment she absorbs it, her body converts it into acid, meaning every material inside this tank has to be able to survive direct contact with a literal chemical weapon. One wrong ingredient in this build, and Jonathan could dissolve her own home. Layer 1. Soil. A deep substrate base to absorb any acidic runoff before it can pool and cause harm. Layer 2. Moss. It looks half dead, brittle, and brown. It isn't. This plant has no roots at all. It simply exists, pulling moisture from its surroundings, exactly the way Jonathan does. Dry it out completely, and it can look like a corpse for weeks. Add water, and it comes roaring back to life. Layer 3. The log. In the wild, cane toads shelter inside hollowed-out logs during daylight hours. So if Jonathan's going to feel at home, this is non-negotiable. Layer 4. Her swimming pool. Jonathan is so large that no commercial water dish comes close to fitting her, so we upgraded to an industrial storage tub filled entirely with a garden hose, because a normal jug wasn't going to cut it. But size brings risk. She needs an escape route, or she could exhaust herself trying to climb out and drown. So a second log goes in purely as an exit ramp. Layer 5. Pothos. An unassuming houseplant that doubles as one of nature's most effective natural filters. Aquarists use it to keep fish tanks clean. It's nearly impossible to kill. Crush it, snap it, sit on it. It just regenerates and spreads. Layer 6. Wild logs and foliage pulled straight from the backyard. Under any other circumstances, that's dangerous. Hidden insects inside old wood can carry toxins lethal to most pets. Jonathan doesn't care. Her stomach is essentially immune to toxic prey. She can eat the exact bugs that would kill any other animal in this tank. Add the heat lamps last, because her natural rainforest habitat runs hot and humid, and my home in the UK runs the exact opposite. Time to answer the question everyone's been waiting for. What does the most dangerous frog on Earth actually eat? Look at that size difference. This is not a normal amphibian. This is a certified world record animal, and right now, she is not thrilled about the weight. So we hit up the most expensive food store in England and returned with a genuinely ridiculous shopping list. Premium salmon, fresh shrimp, roast chicken, and because Google insisted bugs were also on the menu, some seriously overpowered insects. First test, shrimp. Jonathan drops instantly into a defensive stance, flashing her poison glands. That quote's not fear-talking, that's strategy. Advertise the poison first, so if a predator still bites, they get a mouthful of toxin, and she survives to see another day. The shrimp gets a hard pass. Next, salmon. Fresh, expensive, practically restaurant grade. Surely this earns a reaction. Nothing. Not even a flinch. Then the giant hissing cockroach. This thing is so large it screams like a snake to scare off exactly this kind of predator. Jonathan doesn't even blink. Watch this part closely. Her tongue fires before the roach even registers a threat. Gone. Instantly. Her camouflage is so convincing, the roaches actually run toward her, mistaking her for a rock to hide under. Chicken? Completely ignored. Locusts built with explosive legs designed to outrun almost any predator alive. Caught in a fraction of a second, her tongue simply faster than their reflexes. But here's the detail almost nobody catches. Watch her eyes on this next bite. She's not just chewing, she's physically pulling her eyeballs into her skull to force the food down her throat. One of the strangest survival adaptations in the animal kingdom, and you're seeing it up close. So after all of this, the poison, the invasion, the body count her species leaves behind, here's what we actually learned. The animal a country has legally condemned turned out to be food picky, surprisingly gentle around us, and honestly, kind of a sweetheart in her own terrifying way. So here's my question for you. Knowing everything she's capable of, would you have killed Jonathan? I couldn't quote T. This is a brand new channel, and if stories about the world's most misunderstood monsters are your thing, subscribe because Jonathan is only the first one.